wayo ni wayo kaina, wayo kasar gadona, wayo ni wayo kaina, wayo kasar gadona, wayo ni wayo kaina, Najeriya tushe na, wayo ni wayo kaina, wayo kasar gadona.
We welcome Atiku to Kaduna State, and we are happy he's here because he is our choice for Nigeria. As you know, Atiku is a unifier. He's someone that we need at the moment right now to lead the country, to unify the country, to bring economic prosperity in the country, and to solve the security situation in the country.
Shi yasa na ɗauki alƙawari na ce kashi 60 a gwamnati na tsakanin matasa ne da mata.
I think the importance of this event cannot be overemphasized. I am fascinated by Atiku Abubakar's vision and mission for Nigeria, his agenda for Nigerians, and his own conceptualization of the core issues that touch on the very heart of our developmental goals and realities and needs. And he has done needs assessment on what is required to move Nigeria forward. You only need to look at his documents and you will see where he has enunciated, where he has pontificated and expanded his vision across the various issues that affect our national life. So I am convinced without any iota of doubt that if he continues with this momentum, he will be in an unassailable position to take the leadership of Nigeria.
Inshallah, he's going to be our next president. We are proud of him, and he can do it. We know he can do it.
As one, we can get it done.
Welcome to the Headline Roundup, and it's a very beautiful morning in Abuja. My name is Atiku. Well, it's a new edition and it's a wonderful day here in Abuja, and everybody is looking up to the campaign season. And one would wonder how everyone is faring elsewhere in Nigeria. And you can see the persistent road blocks and traffic everywhere in Abuja, and that's actually happening elsewhere in the northern area, northern region of Nigeria. And this is actually due to the flood that actually has consumed all parts of the Lokoja axis, and making it very difficult for tankers to bring fuel up this way. And you can see that what is happening in Nigeria right now, it's actually a difficult time for Nigerians, and Nigerians are looking up to solutions elsewhere. And the only solution right now is nobody but Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, who has a critical and a workable plan for Nigerians. And you can see what he has done. He has picked and highlighted his plans for Nigeria into 5 notable incision into what is going to be happening for Nigerians when it comes in 2023, when he comes in as the new president of Nigeria. Well, running through the headlines this morning, I will be taking you through a very, very troubling one. We have in the news that the subsidy is going up to 11 trillion in 2023, and one will wonder how will the coming administration be doing it, and that's why we have a PDP recovery plan, and it's actually one that everyone should be well in tune with. And if you are well in tune, you understand that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is coming with a practical solution, one which will actually resolve and relieve Nigerians of the problems that have been occupying their minds for a long time now. Also in the news, we have the news about the Dubai woman who actually raised alarm on what actually is going on with the UAE authorities, as they have actually kept Nigerians in a kind of bad situation. From this situation to stranded ones, we have about 542 stranded Nigerians in Dubai, and one will wonder, how is the immigration of Nigeria going to be handling this? Are they going to be bringing them back? Are they going to be lifting them from Dubai to Nigeria very soon? Or are we going to be witnessing the same scenario whereby the lackadaisical attitude of the federal government towards the citizens? And we will actually hope that the Dubai government does not take actions before our people have to be lifted from the UAE. And this story has come a long way, and you could see that we have been talking about these issues. But I think the woman who is in charge of the diaspora I pray that this is not the season where we need to play politics with the lives of our citizens, and we need to actually pay attention to exactly how best we can resolve and bring this people back home, because the UAE have said that they're going to actually be banning Nigerians from getting visas to their country. And this is very, very important issue. Diplomatic issues like this will require our foreign ministry to actually have also a very, very typical story about we have kerosene now on the rise, and the price of kerosene has risen to an astronomical level of 118%. And one we wonder is the energy industry, is it actually closing up on Nigerians, or are we going to be witnessing this till after the election period? Or are we going to be looking at a situation whereby this administration is leaving it off for the next or incoming government to actually take a steed into it? But we must actually do something. We must actually ask the government. They must be accountable to the citizens. That is why we must actually look at the critical steps and approach that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, the only candidate for this election, who has shown himself to be well prepared and ready to actually relieve Nigerians from the darkness they are in and taking them to light, to where Nigerians actually will actually be looking at the Nigerian dream and not looking at a kind of peculiarity where you now tag Nigerians as the third world country, where we should be looking at a big brother situation. Well, like the South African president said, he said they are all waiting for Nigerians to pick up, and then other countries will follow. And well, when you're looking at a big brother and the big brother is actually not paying attention to developments, then you wonder what exactly is the Nigerian government doing about our situation at this time. Well, more on the news, we'll be looking at what exactly Dele Momodu was picking on the APC presidential candidate, where he said he actually copied the manifesto of the late sage, Atiku Abiola, who actually his election was annulled during the the annulled election by Babangida regime. So one would wonder that if you could go ahead to copy the manifesto of Abiola, after all that the intrigue that has been actually been lacking around your identity, your person, your education, and even your health has actually been an issue. And now it comes to your manifesto, you have gone ahead to copy a dead man's manifesto, which actually it should not be. Because if you're actually capable and you have this capacity to drive Nigeria, you shouldn't be looking at manifestos to be copied. And this is why we actually look at what kind of leadership you're going to be bringing to Nigerians. Are you going to bring in a copy and paste kind of thing, or are you bringing a kind of approach that it's actually well articulated? Because you are looking at a Tinubu who has an issue with his certificate, who has an issue with his health, he has an issue with even telling people exactly what he did in his reign while he was in Lagos State. Because one cannot be talking about these same candidates, because we cannot just dwell on him for this long, because we have a candidate who has shown himself to be well qualified. Then we need to start talking about Atiku the more, because that is the only recovery plan that Nigerians will actually be hooking up to, because this is a man that actually highlighted what he wants for Nigerians, how he's going to go about it, how he's going to tackle these issues. And we are seeing an opposite thing from other candidates, because I don't want to even call them candidates, I call them opponents, because they have nowhere and no place to stand toe to toe with an Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, who has shown himself over time and proven himself through his antecedents, through his character, through his patriotism to Nigerians. And one would want such a person and such a candidate, such a leadership to be their president come 2023, May 29. And we're looking at other stories making headlines. We have impending terrorist attack, as the U.S. government or the U.S. embassy has made it a priority issue during the weekend, and have actually alerted every nook and cranny of this country that letting them know there's an impending attack on the FCT. But what we have the security operatives telling us that all is well. But Nigerians cannot take this and go to bed, because we've had an issue whereby these same security operatives told Nigerians that they should go to bed. And next thing we had was that the presidential guard was attacked. And you would wonder, if a presidential guard could be attacked right there in the FCT, then Nigerians are now safe. Because you could actually just suppose a situation whereby the security agencies are telling you something else, and in reality, what is actually going on is actually insecurity, because we have insecurity ravaging the whole country at this time. We have potholes of insecurity, even in the suburbs. And you wonder, kidnapping is now a normal thing in Nigeria. It's a norm that people cannot even live with. People go to bed and they are worried that, am I going to wake up the next day alive, or am I going to be kidnapped? So we are looking at a situation whereby the US government is telling Nigerians that, watch out, terrorists are going to be attacking the FCT. And one will want to ask a very critical question. Where is the intelligence gathering of this country leading to? Are we supposed to be gathering intelligence to profile solutions for this insecurity that is actually looming and actually ravaging Nigerians from every side? Because if we go to the southwest now, we have kidnappers ravaging the country. Go to the southeast, we have the UGM, there's the unknown gunmen. We have in the north at this time, we have the banditry, we have the cattle rustlers, we have Boko Haram actually tearing up apart in every front. And now this is the FCT. What are you telling Nigerians? Are you telling Nigerians just months to election? Is this election actually going to hold? Because if the FCT is being attacked and the residents of this country are looking at it, that what is actually happening? We have a CNC who is a former general who should actually be securing this country, who promised Nigerians that I'm going to lead from the front. But what do we have? We have a man who is using just toothpick to remove whatever that he has in his mouth and telling Nigerians, I don't really care about you. But all is actually going to happen well for Nigerians, because come May 29, you're going to be having a new man at the helm of affairs of this country who actually cares about this country as a passionate Nigerian, as a pan-Nigerian, who actually is looking forward to actually redeem the hopes of this nation, because we cannot run away from this country. We cannot but actually hope on this country to resurrect from where it is. And who do we have to do this? We have an Atiku who has actually proven himself, brought in a plan, a 5-man agenda, and we're actually hoping on this to actually kickstart, reset, and restructure Nigeria. Because if you look at, you see the devolution of power he has talked about. I was talking to a friend during the week, and what most people are actually tying to the Atiku plan is very important here. You have people who are actually more involved talking about the devolution of power. We have people talking about the education plan, because these are plans, critical plans that actually are tying to people in different ways and different solutions. Because if one is telling me that I'm really going to vote for Atiku because he's talking about devolution of power and devolution of resources to the states, that is a critical thing that one should be looking at this time. Because if the states actually could have more powers to actually grow themselves, if more quality education could actually be given to our people, if the insecurity could be actually be tackled head on, one would actually be looking at, yes, now we have a government. But right now, Nigerians are not dependent on this government. People are already resorting to self-help. People are resorting to looking out for different vices to actually tackle the economic issues, that are challenges that they have in their homes, in their workplaces. You have works, like I was just talking about, the 118% rise in the kerosene sales. You could actually enjoy that. Most homes use this form of fuel to actually run their daily activities, and now it's rising to 118. And you have traffic on the road Anambra also witnessing. You have Delta witnessing it, and one will actually be looking at the critical solutions that the government will actually be giving to all this at this time. Well, before we'll go on this break, I will let you know that we'll be showing actually what happened as the huge rallies, huge representation of Nigerians have been coming out to actually welcome the PDP's presidential candidates, the Atiku, and one will actually want to see for themselves that this is not actually a rented crowd. These are people trying to show their passion. All they are singing is that they want PDP back because they have experienced a government that actually was for them. And what do you see in democracy? Democracy is for the people. And once you cannot take dividends of democracy to the people, then you have failed as a government. And that's why everyone has said that this government, the Buhari regime, has failed Nigerians. And now you see how the PDP rally has woken up the consciousness of Nigerians, has taken Nigerians from the rooms to the rallies. And now they are saying that they are seeing it in the man that is ready to actually serve them. And that is what Nigerians need. Let's quickly go to Edo State, where during the week, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar was in Edo and actually was there, and people actually welcomed him. There you could see the warm welcome. In Kaduna, it's been the same. In Uyo, during the flag off, it was awesome. And you could see what happened in Edo. Let's quickly go to Edo and see what happened in Edo.
PDP family to Edo State. Edo is PDP, and PDP is Edo.
Atiku, Atiku, Atiku,
I want to thank the people of Edo State for voting for me in 2019. I will not forget that one. I want to thank Edo people for sticking together with PDP. Edo no be Lagos. E no go be Lagos lie. Today, we are promised to reunify this country. What do we mean by that? We mean we are going to give each and every part of this country a sense of belonging. You will not be excluded in anything. That is why we are being referred to as unifiers of our great nation. We promise to restore security. Whatever it is going to take us to do, we shall restore the security in this country so that you can travel day and night, so that you can go to your farms, so that you can go to anywhere secured. And since we have promised to devolve more powers to the states and local governments, you can also have your own local police. We will send back all our eligible children to school. They must go to school. Every child must go to school. My brothers and sisters, my fellow people of Edo State, I have come here to make these undertakings, and I promise you we will fulfill our promises. PDP! PDP! Power to the people!
As one, we can get it done.
Well, you can see what actually has been going on about the PDP rally from state to state, and the Edo has proven to be one again. And you could say that the growing popularity of our candidate, the People's Democratic Party, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, this is just overwhelming. You can see that his popularity has grown from people even thinking that, oh, PDP is dead. So now PDP is actually the only party who is prepared, who activated his inaugural speech with a flag off. And you could not but just take it away from these people. People who actually are trying to antagonize, become detractors about a progressive rally would actually be looking at this rally. You could see, like the camera crew could actually take you. You could see the dancing, the activity that were going on. People were actually rejoicing and being happy with this candidate. That is what actually the candidacy of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar has brought to Nigerians. You can see how people are actually resonating with what is actually going on with the PDP. The PDP has brought a kind of unifying factor to this campaign, to the Nigerians. The hope that Nigerians are expecting. You could see how his popularity has transcended to a kind of issue-based discussion, because nobody now wants to go on any campaign abusing or becoming very retrogressive in their discussion. But what are they doing? They are talking about issues at this time. People are discussing about how you're going to transform Nigerians from what they have, from the lies of the PDP, from the lies of the APC, to what is actually the tangible PDP recovery plan, which actually has been presented by Alhaji Atiku, the candidate of the PDP. And one would want to talk about inclusiveness, which has mentioned. He talked about 2019 when Edo people actually voted for him massively, and now he's actually reiterating about this again, that he is glad that Edo is PDP and Edo no be Lagos. This is actually he was trying to point out about the thuggery that actually has encompassed the APC rally in Lagos State, whereby you see people actually complaining about the APC faithfuls going about beating the other opponents. And you could actually see the orderliness, the organization, the coordination in the PDP. This is laudable. This is what Nigerians are actually going to be looking out for. Anything aside from the standard that PDP is laying out right now, actually nobody's going to actually be buying it, because you're seeing a situation in Edo whereby every citizen is actually singing only one song, that they want PDP back, and they want PDP back. Look at the rally that happened, the walk that happened in Kogi. They all were saying, we want PDP back. And who is best to do this job? Is only Atiku Abubakar, who has actually shown that he's ready, prepared, and has the capacity to drive Nigeria. The economy of this country has nosedived to a situation whereby you cannot even be able to purchase just a loaf of bread for just 100 naira. All you can just afford now is just to get the alternative, what the APC is selling to us, the agbado, the rice, the gari. And what you are talking about is issues. We don't want to discuss about flimsy rhetorics that are not going to make profit Nigerians in any way, because Nigerians are looking for solutions. Nigerians are looking for other alternatives to actually resolve these challenges that are actually been facing Nigerians for this couple of 8 years. And because this 8 years has been a turbulent one for Nigerians, it has been a one that Nigerians have not been able to even say that what exactly does this government have for them, because it's becoming an issue that nobody can lay hands on anything that this government has done for them. The Buhari administration has been really empty and has not been able to carry Nigerians along. Now you see an article who is telling you that nobody is going to be left behind. He's telling you in his language, in his voice, in his tone, in his actions, that together we can get this done. Because that is the only way that we can lead Nigeria forward. That is the only way that we can get things done in Nigeria. Because there is no other means of getting things done other than telling Nigerians, let's come together, let's unify ourselves. That is the candidacy of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. He has presented himself as one, and you can see his VP choice. His vice presidential choice has actually been one who is a performer. You can see during the week he has been going about the flooding of his state. He has visited all the flooded areas. He has made sure that all his appointees, he has activated all the organs of government to go into the nook and crannies of Delta State and make sure that everybody is safe. That is to show you a government, a people that's actually articulated, who are looking out for their citizens. Lives of Nigerians must actually matter, because if our lives doesn't matter, then we don't have a government, because we don't have a side-to-side government. What we have, we want an all-inclusive government, and that is what we are seeing in Atiku Abubakar, because he has said that nobody will be left behind. And going from what happened in Edo, one would understand that the Edo people have spoken, and they have spoken with one voice. And the only language they are saying that come May 29, the only person they want in Aso Rock is Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. And let's look at one of the critical things that we should talk about. You can see that Governor Obaseki was actually all happy, and he was all in his all glare, dancing and happy with the candidates, and saying that I am going to support him. I'm not going to back down. Edo is PDP and PDP is Edo. And this is a very welcoming one. And one will say, kudos to the people of Edo State for welcoming our candidates, for making it possible, even when they did not even allow us to use the Samuel Ogunmidia Stadium in 2019. Now we have a more accommodating governor who actually says that everybody should be given a fair chance to actually prove themselves. And come what it may, or come what May 29, you're going to be seeing a new government in the Aso Rock. And the only government you're going to be seeing in Aso Rock come May 29 is the PDP government led by Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. And we actually encourage Nigerians to vote massively for the People's Democratic Party come February. So that's the much we can have on today's show. And tomorrow we'll be on set. And don't forget to follow us on all our major handles, AtikuLive, and on YouTube, and also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I still remember myself. My name is Ikoku Chidozie Ikemba, and don't forget, Nigeria will work for you. Say Nigeria is truly our dream. Thank you. Join us again tomorrow.
I want to thank the people of Edo State for voting for me in 2019. I will not forget that one. I want to thank Edo people for sticking together with PDP. Edo no be Lagos. E no go be Lagos lie. Today, we are promised to reunify this country. What do we mean by that? We mean we are going to give each and every part of this country a sense of belonging. You will not be excluded in anything. That is why we are being referred to as unifiers of our great nation. We promise to restore the security in this country so that you can travel day and night, so that you can go to your farms, so that you can go to anywhere secured. And since we have promised to devolve more powers to the states and local governments, you can also have your own local police. We will send back all our eligible children to school. They must go to school. Every child must go to school. My brothers and sisters, my fellow people of Edo State, I have come here to make these undertakings, and I promise you we will fulfill our promises. PDP! PDP! Power to the people!
As one, we can get it done.